But today, the challenge for young people is why, and I think that the phenomenon of extremism is going to increase. Why? Because thanks to the culture that we live in, it is being glorified. This might sound strange to you, but the way it is being presented through the media, I think is very dangerous. We used to have young people coming. I talked to before about the profile. They said the profile used to consist of converts and the people who are recruited through the prison services or the online thing. The attraction, I think part of it is how the other party has made the argument, how it makes sense of the so much senselessness that is going out there. There's too much killing, there's too much wars, there's too much suffering. And some people cannot understand, cannot comprehend, cannot do tawakkul ala Allah, they cannot put everything together, so they become vulnerable to this kind of ideas. Before we used to have young people only. Now recently the phenomena is we're also having young women going and fighting. I think the idea is, to be honest, and this is something serious you need to think about, is our failure to make Islam exciting. I think young people growing up, particularly in the West, there is no sex, there's no drugs, there's no rock and roll. Life as a Muslim is a set of just rules and things. We've got, in our case, I can speak of England, we've got leadership, a religious leadership that is out of sync with the realities, that have made this fantastic religion extremely boring and irrelevant to the daily lives as compared to what it is. Doing everything Islamic is almost like a torture, when doing anything else is supposed to be fun. We become a religion, just reproduce what is from the past. We seem to be almost afraid about the creative ability of the human mind, of producing something that is not only dynamic but relevant, something that inspires, that makes. This is a nation for whom even smile is charity, yet it is a nation that is always angry looking, always full of anger, always full of angst, always, at each other's throat. Part of it is ours, but part is this hostility that our young people get, particularly from the media. You see, in the West, the twin evils of Islamophobia and racism scars the people, scars our young people. They're put into a situation all the time of either going through this gauntlet of hatred, which is very difficult, so difficult that many of them disassociate themselves from Islam because they can't now. 13, 12-year-old is asked to defend the action of some idiot somewhere in Karachi or Afghanistan or some place like that. The only question they ask you now is not what is the names of Allah, who is your Prophet, what is it that your history about? No, you're asked to defend the indefendable. And this is increasingly so. So there are many, many lines about the debates on this issue. It is a very interesting one. But my thing, I started saying I did not like the title because one of the things is nobody doing anything in anybody's name. Those people can say this is Islam as we say it is Islam or we say about anything else. The basic core about it is got nothing to do in my name, nothing to do about Islam. As the West would say, nobody blames the fact that there are over 180,000 Western troops. There are drones killing everything we're speaking now. Children, mothers, women are being killed by all this fighting, which we don't see it because it's not on TV. But nobody's taking responsibility. There is no Christian church to take responsibility. There is no secular government who will take responsibility. There is no international agency which take responsibility. So I don't see the reason why we should start by taking responsibility. This is a problem that we created as a human beings, and I believe, and I think that there is no other way to think about it, that violent extremism, particularly that happens in the Muslim world, cannot be solved without referring to Islam. Islam is the only place you can get the thing. And the issue is, most of the policies that have been adopted to fight violent extremism, if they do not take on board the sympathy of the Muslim community, the sensibilities of the Muslim community, the teaching of Islam, they do not stand a chance in hell. In the fight against terrorism, the West has used all its arsenal. They've thrown more bombs than they did in Japan in the Second World War, and still it's going on. How many innocent people have been killed? How many countries destroyed? Nothing. Today the situation is actually many, many more times worse. So how do we go there? Unless we Muslims are taken on board and Islam is taken on board to be part of the solution and not to be seen as most of the policies being adopted by the West seen as a problem, then I'm afraid that we're going to go around in circles. So this is why we as Muslims, we need to change our mindset. One of my late Sheikh Hassan Gaited used to say, proportionality. This is a big issue, but put it into proportion. You know, every year in America, this is a statistic given by President Obama himself, I think it's 2015 or 2014, 12,000 people died in America because of violence fighting. 12,000. This is more than the year before. But nobody has gone to the root of why that is happening and blamed. It's because the guns are available, there are crazy people there. So you see, if somebody who is not a Muslim shoots something, his religion is not a problem. But if a Muslim even kills a fly in the thingy, then the religion becomes a problem. So religion is being drugged. The problem is there's too much religion where religion is not needed to be there. So we need to liberate from it that religion is a force for change and not be afraid about the fact that religion is actually not used in any way. My advice, and this is the advice that we give to the people, is it is very strange, but in the war against terror in the globe, all the weapons that mankind has invented for itself, like I said, intelligence, bombs, radiation, has been used and failed, except one weapon, and that is a weapon of faith. Now, by the weapon of faith, faith comes with its own. The weapons of faith are forgiveness, mercy, justice, understanding, empathy, and more important than all, love of each other as humanity. If we don't take those weapons and implement them in our lives, when we sit and we create environments where we hate each other, we make each other into tribals and things. I could go on, but it's not for me. And this evil of violent extremism, or what I want to say, is spreading. It's spreading. Why? Because there's no boundaries which can create the medium. The medium has become, you cannot stop ideas from flowing to one to another. But we cannot also stop putting ideas that to counter those violent ideas. Our problem is we are reacting to those ideas instead of generating those ideas. If people knew the message of love and coexistence that our religion brings, who would want to go to this other side, to the so-called dark forces? I think it's important that Muslims sit and discuss these very critical issues, but they should do it honestly, without fear, and they should do it understanding that though we get blamed all the time, that we have responsibility like the rest of humanity, but that we believe that inherent in the teaching of our religion and in faith overall, we can easily solve this thing.